Robert, the Manchester United latest news, we'll be talking Amadou Onana, Bruno Fernandes to Bayern Munich. There's been some talks on that, which we'll talk about. Obviously, there's been talks about Mecha coming in to Manchester United, which we'll talk about. But let's get into it. Amadou Onana. So, Manchester United have narrowed their midfield shortlist to just five players, with Amadou Onana once again being linked. Now, I did a video talking about him as a potential midfield option. I think what I would say about sort of Amadou Onana, he's a top level Premier League midfielder, in my opinion. I think what he's done at Aston Villa is really quite commendable, and I think he's a very good midfielder. Got a great sort of shot about him, work rate fantastic. He definitely is one of those options I definitely consider. I think the quality is certainly there. The price, I don't know, might be a bit of a concern just based on the fact that he's been in the Prem for a while. He has played Champions League football with Aston Villa. They probably don't want to lose him. They've had a lot of midfield injuries. But in terms of as midfield option goes, there are a lot of positives of signing Amadou Onana. As I looked at his stats, he's someone who is a very key player. Villa concede more goals when he's off the pitch than on the pitch, which shows he's a very good player. Good passer, breaks up a lot of play. His work rate, as I said, is fantastic. And he is definitely an option I consider. I mean, he's someone who, again, he would have been my first choice midfield signing. My first choice is obvious. It has been for a while. It's Elliot Anderson. I wouldn't change that. I know Anderson's more of an 8, but he can definitely play in that number 6 role. So yeah, I think Amadou Onana has been linked with a move to United. As I said, 24 years of age, got a few years left on his deal, which might make it difficult to get him out of Aston Villa. But depending on how United finish, whether that's in Europe, depending on how Villa finish the season, he could very well potentially be on the move. And I think he's someone who has been linked to United. Again, United will be doing their short list and kind of seeing who they want to bring in, whether that is Belabor and having their priorities in place and scouting players. So that will be happening right at the moment. And I think Onana, he is someone I definitely consider looking at. As I said, he was someone who was rated at United while he was at Everton before he made the move to Villa for £50 million. So we'll have to wait and see what develops with that. Now, Bruno to Bayern. So this is what Christian Falk had to say. He's someone who, German source, very, very reliable. He said Bayern Munich are not considering a move for Manchester United captain Bruno Fernandes this summer as the club focus on other priorities. So last summer, when Bruno was kind of linked with a move away to United, he was linked with a move to Bayern, Atletico Madrid, obviously Al Hilal being the main one. Now, what I would say is I want Bruno Fernandes to stay at the club. He's on a 300 grand a week contract. He's someone who's very rated at the club, and he's one of those players who deserves to win a Prem or a Champions League at the club. He's just that level of player. This season he's been fantastic. Over 15 goal contributions for United. I think it's 12 assists and 5 goals, or 6 goals even. His output's ridiculous. He's a top level player, and he's someone for me I'd want to stay at Manchester United. Now, I understand if you do get a ridiculous offer for 70, 80, even north of £100 million, United would probably accept it. But I think he's someone who's integral to what United are doing. He's not one of those important positions that you have to replace right now. And even if Bruno Fernandes is to leave, who do you look at replacing him? Cole Palmer, potentially Morgan Rogers, as well. So listen, it would be quite difficult to get a player of that quality, can have that impact on the team right now, other than Bruno Fernandes. So yeah, no links to Bayern at the moment. As I said, I want him to stay at the club. I think there's other priorities. We need to get a Casemiro replacement. We need to get Ugarte out, potentially bring in a left back, bring in a left midfielder or left winger, potentially a right back, get rid of Onana and Bayindir, potentially sort out Maguire's deal. Or no, definitely sort out Maguire's deal. So listen, Bruno, Bayern Munich, there's nothing there at the moment. I think it will be a big summer around Bruno Fernandes this season. We will get a lot of links and a lot of talks, whether him staying or going. But like it was last summer, really, and we got the fact that he wanted to stay at the club and turn down the bid from Al Hilal. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about is Felix. Nemecha has been linked with a move. This is what's been reported. Manchester United are targeting Felix Nemecha for this summer rebuild. Dortmund would sell around €60 million, which is £52.5 million. Now, what I would say about Felix Nemecha, he's obviously plays for Borussia Dortmund out in Germany. He's played 23 matches for them this season. He's 25 years of age. He's a decent player. I think he's someone who, again, is he that sort of midfielder that's a massive upgrade on Ugarte, or someone who's going to develop this Manchester United team and be that sort of top level player? I don't think so. I think he's definitely an option to look at. You look at him, Angelo Stiller, these sort of options to come into the team. I think they are decent players, and yeah, that's what's being reported. He has a contract until 2028. I'll go through what has been said. So, Manchester United won German midfielder to join Elliot Anderson in new midfield look, while Bayern had decided not to go for Bruno Fernandes. So, Sky Germany state Manchester United won Borussia Dortmund Felix Nemecha, the brother of Leeds United's Lucas Nemecha, as part of their midfield rebuild. It's no secret that United will invest heavily in the summer, with Anderson emerging as their top choice. Forest are obviously expected to demand around £90 million. Dortmund, the road is open to the sales of their best players if valuations are met. So, listen, I mean, there's no surprise there. I mean, Nemecha, I don't know too much about him. I think he's someone who, though, I've seen him linked with United before. Yeah, I've seen him linked with United quite a few times, to be fair. But we'll see if anything kind of comes of it. So, yeah, I mean, that's really all the latest Manchester United news. There's not been too much. Obviously, tomorrow's the game against um, Everton. So, we'll see what. Hopefully, that's a big game for United and we can get the job done. As I said, Felix Nemecha plays as a DM, plays as a centre mid. Definitely an option I'd consider. Again, as I said, we're going to be linked to many midfielders. Nemecha is just the next one. Let me know your thoughts.